traders, FXPIPCOLLECTOR here. Today is Wednesday, May 10th, and welcome to today's live stream. Thanks for coming. I really do appreciate the support. As always, definitely like and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. It's a big help to let YouTube know that you enjoy my content and that they can push it out to other members on YouTube. So as usual, we're going to look at the DXY US dollar index from the monthly time frame all the way down to the 1 hour time frame. Then we're going to take whatever information we learned from analyzing the dollar indexes, and we're going to apply that to all the other US dollar pairs, including gold and silver. And then we'll probably look at some yen pairs, probably look at oil, Bitcoin, probably check out the stock market, the S&P 500, and see what's going on with that. So we may as well just get started right away. First things first, we definitely do have to realize that we had a big news event that just came out a little bit ago. We had CPI news for the US dollar. Now CPI is definitely one of the bigger news events of the month, especially now with all the worries of inflation, and this definitely tells the Feds whether or not they really should be continuing to raise interest rates or not. Now, we had a little bit of mixed news. There was a little negative year over year. Month over month, it was exactly as expected, and the core CPI was actually a little bit positive. So definitely a little bit of mixed news. Later on today, we got the 10-year bonds action for the dollar, and we got somebody in Switzerland speaking. And what else do we have tomorrow? We have the official bank rate for the pound. We have core PPI for the dollar. Unemployment claims tomorrow. Waller speaking tomorrow. 30-year bonds action tomorrow. And then Friday we have this consumer sentiment for the dollar, which is definitely a pretty good news event also. And we have GDP for the pound. And inflation expectations quarter over quarter for the New Zealand. So we definitely have a pretty decent amount of news the rest of the week. We really didn't have any news until today. So until today, it was pretty much no news. But I think we're making up for it now with all the news that just came out. So let's do our full top-down analysis on the US dollar index, and then we'll go from there. So on the DXY, let's zoom back out a little bit, which I like to do during these live streams so everybody can kind of get a little better perspective about what I'm seeing. Now you will notice that we have a lower high, and we most recently have another lower high. And then also we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of what I think is an A. We have 3 waves down, which I think is a B, and then we also have an uptrend right here, which I think is a C. Now, beyond the fact that it made lower highs and beyond the fact that it's respecting Fibonacci levels with a big impulsive move down, there is usually a big difference between an 1, 2, 3 and an A, B, C. Now, this picture that we're seeing on the chart, does that look more to you like an ABC, or does it look more to you like a 1, 2, 3? Like this over here is a 1, 2, 3. That right there is an ABC. It's actually a big difference if you start to learn to train your eyes to actually see those things. So I still am very confident that this is an ABC on the DXY monthly time frame. Now that does not mean that we may not get some big pullbacks, big moves to the upside on shorter time frames, but I still think that this is going down in a big way. I think it's eventually going to go down and break this structure, probably go all the way beyond the 70 level for the DXY, which is a long ways down. Now, like I said, that doesn't mean that there's not going to be pullbacks on shorter time frames, but I do believe that is what's going to happen. Going down to the weekly time frame. Now on the weekly time frame is where you can start to see the structure of this move down. Looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still think that it's a wave 1. This move up right here is pretty sharp, and it definitely, like I've been saying for weeks now, it definitely could be an A, this definitely could be a B, and it definitely could go back up for a C, and that would actually look like a more normal looking pattern if it did make it like an ABC of 2 and then go down for a 3. But looking at the shorter time frames, especially the daily, I think that we've already ended a correction. I think this is a 2, 1. I think the wave 2 is already over, and I still think this is going to keep on working its way down in a wave 3, making those lower lows and lower highs. So now going down to the daily is where we can start to actually look at this pattern a little closer. Now this move up, to me, it definitely looks like a trend. And it for sure could still turn into an A, and this for sure could still be a B, and it could definitely still go up and make a C. Like I said, that would actually be a completely normal looking pattern if that's what it did. But I'm still stuck to the idea that this right here is a trend. That is not the shape of a correction, that is the shape of a trend. Then we made 3 waves up with another lower high. Never broke structure to the upside, telling me that the trend is still down. I think the trend is down, and I still think that it will end up continuing down. I think it's going to break these lows and keep on trending down, especially looking at all these dollar pairs. So let's take it down to the 4-hour time frame. So we just had that CPI news come out a little while ago. As you can see, the initial move definitely was down. It is starting to go up a little bit right now, but I'm still seeing this as an A, B, C, D, E, or B, and then this move up is probably the wave C. Then this is probably a downtrend for like a 1. It probably already made a 2, and I think that it's just going up right now because there's a lot of buy orders down here, a lot of pending orders. I think that this is just going to keep on drifting down. I think that we're already in a wave 3 and that it's just going to keep on trending down. So going down to the 1-hour time frame. So initially the move was definitely down, and it went all the way down and took out this low, and now it's starting to come up. I still think that even if it does come up, it might spend the rest of the day kind of drifting around, but I still think that it will end up continuing down. To me, this is an uptrend for an A, this is a very corrective wave B, and this is an uptrend for the C. It ran right to the 38% Fibonacci retracement and the 38% Fibonacci extension of wave A projected out the bottom of wave B, and then made a very impulsive move down at the news. Now, it does kind of resemble that 345 shape, but I do believe that it is not going to go back up. I still believe that it is going to end up continuing the downtrend. So far, I don't really see any evidence otherwise. Sometimes these big news events do turn into spike reversals and go up like that. So over the next couple hours, if it just keeps on drifting up, then maybe that's what it will take to change my mind. But as of now, I still think that even if it does kind of drift up some more, it is going to be a correction. It is going to be a correction to this move down, and it is going to end up continuing the downtrend. Like I said, there was probably a ton of liquidity down here around this low that caused this to go up like that. So I do believe that it is still going to end up going down. So now we need to take that information and we need to apply it to all the US dollar pairs, including gold, and see if we can figure out what is most likely to happen on all those pairs. So let's start off with the euro dollar. Let's head back up to the daily time frame. We're going to do our full analysis from the daily down to the 1 hour on all these dollar pairs. Yeah, we're definitely going to look at the yen pairs. Hey Robin, hey Connor, Hafiz, Heyo, and Quizzy. How's it going today? Nice to see you. So the euro dollar, as you can see, I believe that this is a 1. I still believe this is an ABC of 2, and I still believe that this is all part of a wave 3. Now, the euro dollar did make a pretty good push to the downside, but as you can see, it never broke structure down, and the trend to me is still up, and I still believe that it is going to keep on going up. As of now, I definitely don't see any reason to think that the trend has turned down. Going down to the 4-hour time frame, it seems pretty clear to me that this is an A, B, C, and then it made a D and an E, and then it made an impulsive move up, breaking structure today. It is kind of pulling back right now, which is very, very common for these news events. Sometimes during these news events, it will go all the way back down to the starting line, and then later on just keep on drifting up. Which when I enter at a news event like this, I almost expect that it's going to actually go down and then either continue down or just keep on going up. So going down to the 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame, as you can see, it made a downtrend for, let me draw that a little better. It made a downtrend for the A, it made 3 waves up for the B, and then it made a downtrend for the C. At the time, I thought that right there was the end of a correction. But if you were paying attention to price, what happened next is instead of making a 1, 2, 3, it made 3 waves up with an impulsive turn. That means that it's a wave D, and now it went down for a wave E. Now, it definitely made an impulsive move up, and it did break structure. Sometimes at these news events, you do have to take that with a grain of salt because, like I said, it definitely could just go all the way back down. We don't really know 100% that the trend is back up now, but I still believe that it most likely is. I have my stop loss way down here all the way, so as long as it doesn't go down there, I'm still sticking with this trade. This could go all the way back to the starting line, and that still wouldn't tell me that the trend is not going to keep on going up. I see that happen constantly with these big news events. Now, like I said, if it just keeps on drifting down and goes down and takes out this low, maybe that would change my mind, especially with this break of structure. But it has not done that yet, and I'm still expecting that anything we see to the downside is probably just trying to trap the sellers, and this is most likely just going to keep on going up. Based on the longer time frames, I definitely don't see any reason to think that these trends are over. Going to the daily time frame on the pound dollar, if you really pay attention to these longer time frames, this is where the clarity is at. This right here I believe is a 1. I still believe this is like an ABC of 2. And I do believe that this is going up for a wave 3. We did break out of this Fibonacci level, which is a good sign that this is probably still going to just keep on drifting up, all part of that big wave 3. So, taking it down to the 4-hour time frame, we definitely got a little bit of a spike reversal going on the pound dollar. But for me, I still believe that the trend is up, even if it does go out down, like I said in my video today. Even if it does keep going down, I still think it will go up eventually, and I still think that it will make a higher low, and just keep on trending up. Especially if we really are in that big wave 3, like I believe that we are. So, looking at the pound dollar, it definitely looks like a spike reversal. Now, this is a downtrend for the A, this is a move up for the B, and a wave C. Then it made an impulsive up, corrective down, impulsive up again. And when a big news event like this, it's actually very common for the price to come all the way back to the starting line. And then from there, well, that's where we need to see what happens. Because if it just keeps on going down and breaks structure, then obviously it's going down. But until it does that, I'm still saying that this is more likely to just keep on drifting up. So I'm definitely still looking for longs in an uptrend, and this big spike reversal does not change that for me at all. Aussie dollar, definitely big spike reversal. I guess they're all doing it now. And it is very common for that to happen. Like I was telling members of my group earlier today, spike reversals are very, very common during these big news events. Now, going to the Aussie dollar, what do we have? We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave A. I still think this is an A also, an A or B. This looks like 3 waves down for the B or B, and then an uptrend for the C or B. Then a little move down for the wave C. So I think this is an A, B, C of wave B. And then we had a nice impulsive move up. We have a break of structure. I think that this has ended a trend, ended a correction, a wave B, and I do believe even if it does go down, I believe it's going to be a correction, and I still believe on these higher time frames that it will just keep on trending up. Like I said on my video today, even if it does go down, that's not going to change my mind on pretty much any of these pairs because of what I see on the longer time frames. So it definitely does resemble a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. So it definitely could go down, but like I said, even if it does go down, I think it's going to be a correction, and I do believe that it will continue the uptrend. So going down to the 1-hour time frame, as you can see, price made a big impulsive move up, and now it's coming all the way back down pretty much to the starting line. Until it actually goes down and clearly breaks structure to the downside, I still am bullish on this, and I'm just going to hold my long. Even if it does go down and stop me out, you know what, honestly, it doesn't really matter to me because I'm using 1% risk of my account, and it's not that big of a deal to lose 1%. And if you're risking more than that, then you may as well just go to the casino and just put all your money on black, because really all you're doing is gambling. So like I said, even if it does go down, I still believe it's going to be a correction, and I still believe it's going to go up. But I still am holding on to the fact that this is probably just it's probably just making a stop hunt for the sellers. Everybody's trying to sell right now, especially with this 3, 4, 5 shape, and I think it's probably just going to keep on drifting up. I bet if you come back in about 4 or 5 hours, the price is going to be all the way up here somewhere. So, taking it down to the Kiwi dollar, heading up to the daily time frame. Kiwi dollar is definitely very similar to the Aussie dollar. It looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. This looks like an A, B, C, or B. Then this looks like a downtrend for the C. I think this whole thing is an A, B, C, or B. I think this move up right here is the continuation of the uptrend. And even if it does go down, I think it's just going to be a correction to this move up, and I do believe that it will just end up continuing the uptrend. Yeah, we're going to look at yen pairs, and also I did a video earlier today about the euro yen. If you want to check that out, definitely do so. Going down to the 4-hour time frame, I mean, I definitely do see something that could resemble a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here, so I wouldn't be surprised if it did go down. But until it actually goes down and breaks some structure, I'm still very bullish, and I still believe that it is more likely to just keep on drifting up. These big pullbacks like this are extremely common in these big news events. Going down to the 1-hour time frame, we had one wave down, wave A. This wave up I still believe is a B, and I still believe that this way here is a C. I think that this is going up, and I think this is just trying to trap people into going short, or it's trying to trap people to exit their longs. So I'm still very bullish, and I still think it is more likely to just keep on going up. US dollar Canadian is another one very similar to that. Let's go up to the daily on this one. This was another one that I really do not think is over yet. I still think this is a 1. I still think this is a big ABC of 2. I believe this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1, like a 1 of 3. I still think this is a 2 of 3. And I still believe that even if it does go up, it's just going to be a correction, and that this has a long ways to go to the downside. So let's keep that in mind. Let's head down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame is where you can actually start to see this big uptrend right here, probably all part of a wave A. This move down right here is probably a B, and this move up I still think is a wave C. Big impulsive move down. And like I said, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it did go up again. But even if it does go up again, I think it's just going to go up to one of these fib levels and eventually continue the uptrend, the downtrend that is. I do believe that the trend is down, and I definitely don't see any reason to think otherwise on these longer time frames. So let's get rid of that for now. So on the 1-hour time frame, it definitely did resemble a 3-wave correction right there. And then it went down, up, and down again. It is pulling back right now, but really, just like the other pairs, I'm still bearish, and I still think that it is more likely to continue the downtrend. So, like I said, I'm not really too concerned about these pullbacks. I don't think that they're anything besides a stop hunt. So I'm not too concerned with it at all, honestly. Let's check out the US dollars first. Let's go to the daily. This is the one that I was thinking maybe looked like it was more likely to go up. But I still see it as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1. A, B, C of 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is why I thought that maybe it could possibly go up and break structure before it goes down. But just because you see 5 waves, like I say all the time to my members, my Patreon members, does not mean that the trend is over. I see trends with 7, 8, 7, 9, 11, sometimes 13, and maybe even more waves than that. So just because we see 5 waves does not mean it's over. And really, the fact that it didn't respect this Fibonacci level also makes me think that it is going to keep on trending down. Going down to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame, we see 3 waves up right there. I think that's an ABC. Impulsive down, another 3 waves up. I think that's another ABC. And as you can see, price, I believe, is going to keep on going down. I think it's going to break out of these levels. I believe that we're in a big wave 3 on the much longer time frames. 1-hour time frame. Now we have 3 waves up right here. 1, 2, 3. Then we have an impulsive downtrend. Then we have 1, 2, 3 waves up again, another impulsive downtrend, and then 1, 2, 3 waves up again. Those are 3 different ABCs right there. This is the most recent ABC right at the news. Like I said, just like the other ones, I think that this move is nothing more than a stop hunt and to scare people into going long and exit their shorts. I still believe that the trend is down, and I still believe that it will end up continuing down. US dollar yen, look at that one. That's a little bit of a combination between the yen and the dollar right here. Very, very good entry. This is also definitely a very good one to enter, apparently, because you have the yen and the dollar are working together to cause this to go down. Weak yen and strong dollar. So So anyways, it looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. This looks like an A, B, C, a B. This looks like an uptrend for the C. Price is definitely respecting this 38.2 level. I think that this is going down. I think it's finally going to break structure probably within the next day or so, proving that this really is the end of an ABC correction and most likely continuing the downtrend. Ah, nice. Short on the yen pairs. We're going to have to check out those yen pairs in a little while. Maybe they are going to make that wave C that we were originally thinking, Connor. So on the 4-hour time frame, we have what I think is the end of a wave C. We have a downtrend, probably like a 1. This is most likely a wave BC, probably a 2. Big impulsive move down, breaking a bunch of structure, pretty much proves to me that the correction is over and that it will, probably over the next few trading days, just keep on going down. 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame, we got a nice impulsive downtrend right here. Like I said, probably a wave 1. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. This is a very overlapping pattern. It's almost like an A, B, C, D, E. And then this is like a ending diagonal almost for the wave C. It did turn right in between two Fibonacci levels. As you can see, it didn't really respect the Fibonacci levels. But it definitely, I think, is the end of a correction, especially with that structure breakdown. I think that the correction is over, and I think that it will just keep on going down. I really do not see any reason to think that this one's going to go back up either. It looks like the end of a correction, and it looks like it should just keep drifting down. Gold is another one. Like I've been saying for weeks on gold, we are extremely close to all-time highs on gold. So I do expect the gold to be extremely volatile around these all-time high areas. And you really do have to go up to the weekly time frame to fully understand what I think is going to happen with gold, and then you have to squish it down a little bit to see. But I still think this is a 1. I still think this is a 2. I still think that this is a wave 3. A wave 3 needs to be bigger than a wave 1 because a wave 3 is supposed to be the biggest, strongest wave of a trend. So a wave 3 needs to go beyond the 100% Fibonacci extension of wave 1 projected out the bottom of wave 2. That means that this is most likely going all the way up at least to one of these higher Fibonacci levels beyond the 100% level to finish off this uptrend. I think it's going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 uptrend. So now that we know that weekly time frame, which is where the clarity is, the search for clarity definitely on the gold lands me on the weekly time frame. So on the gold daily is where you can start to see this uptrend. Looks like a 1. This looks like an ABC of 2, and I still think this is all a wave 3. Now this structure level did get broken, but it never closed below structure, telling me that the buyers are definitely still in control of this pattern. It is what I think is a wave 3. This line right here does represent all-time highs, at least with my broker, Oanda. Somebody in my group was telling me that some brokers have already hit all-time highs on gold, which is probably why it's been so volatile and pulling back like that. But I do believe that the trend is up, and I definitely don't see any reason to think otherwise, and I still think that it will end up continuing the uptrend. Now that definitely doesn't mean that we won't get some pullbacks on shorter time frames, especially with those all-time high levels approaching. Now I've been going back and forth on this a little bit over the last couple of days because at one point it looked like this was going to be a D and then it was going to go down for an E. But if we trust this three-way pattern, which looks to me like an ABC, and then we trust that we know that the pattern's not over until we see a break of structure, we would have not gone short this whole time, and we would have just been looking for longs on shorter time frames. And if it did go down and break structure, that's what would have told us there was a wave D, and it never did do that, so it never told us to go short. So we should have just been looking for longs on shorter time frames this whole time anyways. Now on the 1 hour, we got a downtrend. I think it's a 1. We got 3 waves up. I think it's a downtrend for the A. 3 waves up for the B. A downtrend for what I think is a C. As you can see, this move does look very corrective on the shorter time frames, but it never broke any structure. It never told us that the trend was over. And yes, it is pulling back right now, and it is bouncing off a fib level, but I still believe that the trend is up. Like I said, I do expect to see some volatility around these areas, probably lots of big pullbacks, lots of big swings. It's probably going to be a little dangerous on this one, and probably a little volatile as it approaches these all-time high areas. But I still believe that gold is probably heading at least to the $2,300 area and maybe even a lot further up than that. So we just looked at all the dollar pairs. We did the daily down, and now we're going to go look at yen pairs. We'll probably go look at Bitcoin, and oil and natural gas. Ooh, that did make a good push down, didn't it? That still kind of looks like it could be a wave B, though. We'll have to see what happens. Let's go to the daily. Before we go do that, I want to go up to these higher time frames just to show everybody where I'm coming from on these yen pairs. And I still believe that the euro yen is going to end up looking like this. This is the monthly time frame, so it may take a year for that to happen, but we do have to keep that in mind when we're trading the shorter time frames. Pound yen, same exact story. I still think this is going up like that. It may take a year for that to happen, but I do believe that the trend is up and it will keep going up. Aussie yen, a little different, but I still think this is the end of a correction, and I still think this is heading up also, probably around the 110 area to finish off this uptrend. Kiwi, very, very similar. I think that's the end of a correction, and I think this is going up for the 78%. And the Canadian yen was definitely a little different also, but I think this right here is the end of a correction also, which is actually pretty clear on the daily, and I think that this is also heading up to about the 126 area, or maybe the 120 area to finish off this uptrend. And the Swiss yen is already in all-time highs, and it's been in all-time highs for quite a while now. It broke the all-time highs at level recently, and if the other yen pairs are going to go up, I bet this one's going to continue to go up also. So that's where I'm coming from, and unfortunately, the search for clarity lands me on these higher time frames when I'm talking about the yen pairs. The weekly and the monthly for me is where the clarity is at. So going down to the euro yen daily, I still think this is going to be a correction. I still think it's going to make a higher low, and I still think it's going to keep going up. 4-hour time frame. Yeah, I don't know about that. Let's see. It probably is already finished the wave B, especially looking at some of these other yen pairs. So we probably are in that wave C already. This is probably an A, this is probably a B, and we're probably in a wave C already. Most wave C's do take out the low of wave A, but it definitely doesn't always happen. I still think this is going to make a higher low, and just keep on going up. 1-hour time frame, yeah, I could make this out as a B. It looks a little more like a trend, but this definitely is a trend. I think that's an A. That probably is a B, and this is probably going down for a C. So if it does start to go up and break some structure, I would definitely get out of any sorts and think about going long, because the higher time frames for me are definitely still up. Yeah, that does look pretty clear to me. And that this is probably the wave B is right there, and this is now a wave C. That's definitely what I think. Most likely this is a wave A, this is a wave B, and we're going down for the C, and then we'll go up for the continuation of the uptrend on the daily. 4-hour time frame. Definitely seems pretty clear that this is a downtrend for the A, this is 3 waves up for the B, and this is a downtrend most likely for a C. I think it's going to make a higher low, and just keep on trending up, just like all of the other yen pairs. So let's take it down to the 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame, you can see a nice series of lower lows, lower highs. I think that's an A. This is an A, B, C of B, and I believe that we are going down for a C right now, which will probably go down at least beyond or maybe near those lows of wave A. So I could definitely be looking for shorts and a downtrend on that one. Aussie yen is probably exactly the same thing. A, B, C of B. Yeah, I don't know. This Aussie yen to me looks like it's actually more likely to go up. But if the other ones are going to go down, this one will probably go down also. Definitely be careful with this one though, because that looks to me like an ABC, and it looks like it could just keep going up. But it does look, comparing to the other pairs, it does look like it is more likely to go down before it goes up. Canadian Kiwi yen actually is very similar. This one is actually already broken high, so I know this is not a wave B. And this to me looks like very similar to the Aussie. It looks like this could be an ABC right here. So I think this one also could end up continuing up pretty slowly. Yeah, even the Canadian yen to me looks like it's in a wave C. The pound yen and the euro yen are really the only ones that don't look like that. This right here is probably a wave A, but it's probably really a motive wave correction, because to me it looks like a lot of these pairs are not going to go down again. This looks very clear to me that this is forming a correction to this move up right here. It's probably not done going down. It'll probably go down to a fib level, but I bet it's going to make a higher low and end up continuing the uptrend. To me, it doesn't look like it's going down again. It looks like it's going up. I bet it's going to keep going up for a long ways also. And the Swiss yen. The Swiss yen definitely looks more like a wave B. I could definitely see this one being a wave B. Downtrend, wave A. 1, 2, 3 waves up, wave B, and a downtrend for a wave C. Now we definitely have a little bit of mixed things going on here, because the Swiss yen looks like it's going to make a wave C. The euro yen and the pound yen look like they're going to make a wave C. The Aussie, the Kiwi, and the Canadian look like they're not going to make a wave C. So we can have that much discrepancy between the yen pairs. These ones could definitely make a wave C, while the other ones just make a correction to the uptrend. But I still think that this is going to probably go down, maybe touch the 78%, break structure to the upside, and most likely just keep on trending up. It definitely looks like that is the most likely thing to happen with these ones. So let's see, we got all the yen pairs, we got all the dollar pairs. Let's switch back to the dollar just for a second to see what's going on. Pretty much nothing is going on, as you can see. I don't really think that it's going to go up, but we'll have to see. It definitely could. I've definitely seen spike reversals do that many times, so it definitely could go up. So let me check out my chats, see if I missed anything from anybody. With natural gas and oil, we're definitely going to look at in a minute. We'll probably look at those next. Oil, nat gas. We already got the Canadian yen. We already looked at the Swiss yen, and we're going to look at the US 30 for Mr. Wolf. So let's go look at the oil and natural gas next, and then we'll circle back to these dollar pairs, because with that dollar news that we had today, the dollar pairs definitely do need to be one of the main focuses of the day. Maybe the yen pairs also, but the dollar and the yen, and maybe even the Swiss, because the Swiss, let's look at the Swiss just real quick as a currency. See if the Swiss is moving too. No, not really. Sometimes the dollar news will cause a movement on the Swiss too, so sometimes you really have to watch the Swiss and the yen when you have big dollar news, because sometimes they'll move also. So oil and natural gas, what's going on with that? I was thinking that it was going to make an ABC correction, which it kind of looks like it did. Let's head up to the daily. The daily, I still think there's a very good likelihood this is going to end this wave 5 of A finally and go up and take out this high. I still think that this is going to be an uptrend, probably for an A of B, and then eventually go down, make a B of B, and probably back up for a C of B, which is going to end up probably being a correction to this whole move down right here. Probably something like this. A, B, C of B. And then probably it will go down one more time for a C. This will be an A, B, C, a B, and then down again for a C. So now going down to the 4-hour time frame, I mean really on the 4-hour time frame it would have to break that structure for me to believe that this move up is over, but it definitely does resemble 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I really wouldn't be surprised if it did go down, and if it did break structure, but it would probably be like a 1 and a 2. So I really wouldn't be surprised if it did do that, but until it actually does break structure, I still would be looking at this move as a correction possibly to this move, and as maybe just keep on going up like that. And it still could end up being like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of wave A. Excuse me, just about sneezed. So anyways, let's head down to the let's head down to the 1-hour time frame. Really on the 1-hour time frame, this is where we should be using our Fibonacci from this low to here to see if it can help us figure out if this is going to be a crescent to just that last wave or not. This kind of looks like it's made 3 waves already, doesn't it? And it is bouncing off the 61%. It did make it a move up initially, but I think this is going to keep going up, I bet. Even though we see 5 waves up, until it goes down and takes out the low of wave 4, which it definitely has not done yet, I'm still looking at this move right here as possibly a crescent at just this last wave. So I would definitely be looking at this as possibly ending a crescent, maybe even right now. So might want to pay attention to that. Maybe it needs one more little push down. Yeah, maybe not though. It looks like it's about to break structure. So if it clearly breaks that structure, I would say this whole move down is over and that it's probably heading back up. Because the 5-minute time frame is the only place that you can really see that structure. Oh yeah, natural gas. Let's get rid of this. Let's put this Fibonacci from here to here. And let's go to the daily. Yeah, natural gas, I mean, you do have to be a little cautious with natural gas because it really does not want to give up on this downtrend. It does look like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1. It looks like an ABC of 2. It looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave 3. I still do believe that it needs to go up and make a pretty good size correction, probably around the same size as that wave 2 for wave 4, and then go down again for wave 5 to complete this pattern. It definitely hasn't done so yet. Now going down to the 4-hour time frame, what do we see? It definitely I was wondering if you kind of erase this spike right here and kind of ignore that, it does look like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, like an ABCDE, and it did make a higher low, higher low. That could be like a 1 and an ABCDE of 2, and this right here may be a crescent to this move up, and it could just keep on going up, honestly. What's the 1 hour look like? Now 1 hour is where I put my Fibonacci retracement on here. To me, this definitely looks like an uptrend. And it probably is going to go down a little bit more to maybe hit this 50%, but it may not also. We are at the 38%. If you see 3 waves down and then a big impulsive engulfing move to the upside at a Fibonacci level, then I would for sure take that as a long opportunity for the continuation of the uptrend. So let me check my chat, make sure I'm not missing anybody's stuff. My chart, so it looks like dollar's working out finally. Like I said, I got in a dollar pair a few seconds before the news came out, so I don't really have to worry about pullbacks too much because I'm in pretty much right from the bottom, so it's not really that big of a deal if it does pull back. So let's see, we got oil, we got natural gas. Let's go look at US 30, and then we'll look at this at Bitcoin after that, and the stock market, S&P 500. So this is another one where you really have to go all the way up to the daily time frame to understand this pattern. The weekly time frame. I'm sorry. The weekly time frame is where the clarity is for this. Yeah, no problem, King. So if anybody wants to, they can definitely join my Discord channel. It's 100% free to join, no obligations to pay a dime if you do not want to. Now, I do offer a Patreon service, and I'll put the link for that in the chats and in the description also, which comes with a course. I do 2 Zoom meetings a week. I do a members forecast every single morning on all the yen pairs, the dollar pairs, and oil and gold. And I do a private chat where I chat about the news. Like today we were chatting about the news before it even came out. And also I am going to probably be, especially now that I have that course, I am probably going to be raising the price at least $10 or $15 for the gold membership. So if you are interested in joining, I would definitely do it before this weekend, because I do plan on raising the price, because you get an extremely lot for your money. I know that pretty much any other course that you buy is going to be hundreds of dollars. I sell mine for $50. So if you are interested in joining, I would definitely do it before this weekend, because the price is definitely going to go up at least a little bit. So on the weekly time frame, to me, this definitely looks like a downtrend. This looks like an A, 3 waves down for the B, and this looks like it's going up for a C of wave B. Everybody is talking about how the stock market's going down and how it's going to make a huge crash. Well, I'm probably about the only one that says that it's probably going to go up, at least for the next few months, before it goes down. I do agree that it's going to go down, but I do not think it's ready to go down yet. I do think it is going to go down, though, just not yet. So, daily time frame, we have 3 waves down, we got impulsive up. I think this is headed up. I think it's going to break this structure, and it's going to keep on going to complete that wave C of wave B, just like what I was showing on the higher time frames. Taking it down to the 4 hour, this definitely to me looks like a downtrend, wave A. This move up was pretty strong, and it did take out this high, but I do think it is a wave B. I think that's an irregular top. Look it up in Elliott wave and you'll see what I mean. Or an irregular wave B is what my mentor used to always call it. But either way, I do think this move down is a C, and I do think that this is going to keep on trending up. I do believe that this trend on the stock market is not over yet. So even though we made a big pullback, I think it's just going to keep on drifting up, and I would just keep on looking for longs on these sort of time frames. This was actually, even though it was very overlapping, it was a very clear entry today. You could have looked at that before the news and known that that was going up just because of that shape of that move down, how corrective it looked. And I think it's just going to keep on drifting up, making higher highs and higher lows. So let's check out the US 30, which was requested by Mr. Wolf. Let me look at the weekly, see. Yeah, I see the exact same thing pretty much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of A. A. Perfect 3 waves down right there. Wow, that's almost a perfect 3-wave pattern for the B. And then this is probably a C. I bet this is going up probably almost all the way up to these highs. It could make a new high, but it probably will make a lower high. And then I do think it is going to go down. Probably at least down below here, maybe to the 2600 area to finish a wave C. But we're on the weekly time frame, so I do expect the next couple months it is going to continue to drift up, just like I expect the US dollar is going to continue to drift down over the next few months. So going down to the daily time frame, I think this is an ABC correction, just like the S&P 500, and I think this one's going up also. 4 hour time frame, same thing. This looks like a downtrend, almost exactly the same as the S&P 500. Pretty much exactly the same picture. I think this is going to keep on drifting up. I think that we already had the end of a correction right here, and that the price will keep on drifting up, continuing that uptrend. This, like I said, was a very clear entry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then what happens if you throw your Fibonacci on there? From top to bottom, or bottom to top, whatever. Price made a very overlapping, corrective 3-way pattern right to the 38% Fibonacci level. Right before the news, made an impulsive move up. It is pulling back, but I do believe that it is just trying to trap people into going short, and that I believe that it is going to keep on drifting up. So I'm still very bullish on the stock market. I'm still very bearish on the dollar. Especially on the much longer time frames. So let's head back. Actually, let's go look at Bitcoin. Let me check one more time. I feel like I missed somebody. I have somebody's request from earlier, but if I did miss somebody's request, put it in the private chats, and I'll be more than happy to look at it before we're done. No problem. So let's look at Bitcoin. What's going on with that? Ooh, it looks like it's getting ready to go up. I think on the weekly time frame we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. It's probably going to go down, make a B, and probably go back up. I think that we're heading up to either the 50 or maybe the 38% level to make either an ABC, or depending on what happens with the economy. I mean, if the banks keep going under, this could turn into a 1, 2, 3. And just keep on going up, maybe even eventually making new highs. So keep an eye on that. I still think it's going to be an ABC, because this move down is a trend. Usually you have a trend followed by a correction followed by another trend. So I still think it is going down, but probably not for quite some time. Daily time frame is where you can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That looks to me like a 1. This looks like a 2. Even though this has been very corrective, as you can see, it never broke structure to the downside, and actually it made 3 waves down. I think this is going to keep on going up, probably a 1, 2, and 3 of wave 3. 4-hour time frame is probably where you can really see this clearly. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5 right there. Wave A. 1, 2, 3 waves down. 3. A, B, C. Wave B. Downtrend for the wave C. 78% Fibonacci level. Break of structure to the upside just today. And that looks to me like the end of a correction, and I bet this is going to keep on drifting up also. Actually, it seems pretty dang clear that it is the end of a correction. So, let's head down to the 1-hour time frame. Ooh, the only thing I don't like about this is that it made a higher low. But it still is probably a trend. This is probably a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. Well, maybe this is a higher low for the wave 5. Either way, it does look like the end of a trend with this break of structure and this break of structure. So I would be looking for longs for sure over the next few trading days, trying to go long at the end of any and all pullbacks that I may actually see. So as of now, it definitely looks like it broke structure and it looks like it ended a correction. So keep an eye on that over the next couple days for pullback entries. So let me see here. We did the yen pairs. I got all my requests: oil, natural gas, stock market. So let's circle back to the dollar, see if anything is happening. Not really. I think that what's probably going to happen is it's probably going to kind of drift around for a couple hours, probably maybe even go up some more, and then bam, I bet it will go down. I definitely don't see any reason to think this is over. Some of these other pairs do look a little... Ooh, the euro dollar is looking nice. Awesome. That's the one I went long at the break of structure right here. That break of structure right there is where I got in. Because it made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves down. Look at that. Awesome. Love it. The last couple news events, we've been right on in the private chats. And if you want to participate in those private chats, I would definitely, like I said, join now, because I am going to be raising prices very, very soon. Because now that I finished my course, which is over 38 videos, which teaches you exactly how to trade just like I do, nobody else sells a course for as cheap as I do, so I am going to be raising the price a little bit, especially with how much you get for the money. So yeah, the euro dollar looks like it's going up. We have a break of structure. I think this is the end of a wave E. And that move down right there was just a trap, people. I wouldn't be surprised if it still kind of continued to drift around a little bit, but I do think this is a trade that probably is going to have to be held for a few days. Pound dollar still is the same thing. That right there was definitely a trap. I even had people in my group say that they were going short right there. Hopefully they did make some money on that. Because I think it's going to end up being a trap. I think it's going to end up continuing back up. So hopefully people are able to get out of that with some profit if they did go short. Aussie dollar is not really convincing that it's going to go up yet, but I still think that this is not going to take out this low. Maybe it will go down more, but I still think that the trend is up. I still think that it will continue up. Kiwi dollar is real convincing of that. I think this is also going to keep going up. Maybe it will drift around for the rest of the day. Maybe do something like this, make another push down, probably make a lower high, really set up a trap for everybody, and then bam, up it will go. US dollar Canadian. Now this is the one that I was almost convinced because of the lower high that it could go back up. But really it probably isn't. It probably will end up continuing down. This one does look like it wants to go up though, because it made a lower high right there. It kind of looks like an ABC and it wants to go back up. So that could possibly go back up. Swiss yen is actually pretty similar to the Canadian yen. But just like the Canadian yen, I still think that it's more likely to just keep on drifting down for sure. So I definitely would be still looking for shorts on that one. US dollar yen. US dollar yen is probably one of the best ones to trade today, because we had a nice 5 wave trend. We had an A, B, C, D, E, and then we had a little sideways ending diagonal for the wave C. It definitely didn't turn at a fib level. It turned right in between them, but to me, that looks like the end of a crescent, and it looks like it's heading down almost for sure. And probably those yen pairs are going to help it. Gold, I think, is definitely trapping people also. I think this is also going to just keep on drifting up. Like I said a couple times, I do expect gold to be very, very volatile. I do expect that gold is going to be very volatile, and I do expect that it may make some big pullbacks, some big swings because of this all-time high level that we're approaching. But it definitely doesn't change the fact that I believe that it is going up. So I definitely would still be looking for longs unless it goes down and breaks structure. As you can see, this whole way up, it didn't break structure at all. There was no time right there where I would have thought this was over. I mean, right there it definitely broke structure, but that was definitely not a major structure level. That was just a structure of this move right here. So I'm still very bullish. I still think this is more likely to go up. Silver is not as convincing. Silver does kind of look like it wants to go down, but I probably will keep drifting up also. So, hopefully everybody did okay today. Definitely a little bit of a tricky pattern. At least we're getting some movement, unlike the last 3 or 4 weeks where we had a really rangy market for the dollar. So that's definitely good. Good sign that everything's back to normal, hopefully. I think the problem is that on the higher time frames where everybody is ready to sell, but the problem is that we're in a wave 3, and a wave 3 is supposed to be the biggest, strongest trend. I don't think any of these are over on the longer time frames. So I'm still very bullish on everything. Bearish on dollar, bullish on the other ones. So I hope everybody did okay today. I hope everybody does like and subscribe to my channel. It makes a huge difference to push my channel out to new members. Definitely join my free Discord channel. It's 100% free to join. There's no obligation to join my Patreon membership at all. You can become a free member of my group and stay a free member for as long as you want. You do not have to join my membership, but if you do want some extra help with your trading, you do want access to my trading course, which this right here is my trading course right here if anybody is interested. It's over 38 videos about exactly how I trade using Fibonacci, structure analysis, Elliott wave, and risk management. Risk management is definitely one of the most important things. So if anybody's interested in participating in that, I do plan on raising the price for my gold membership. And if you are a gold member already, then you will be locked into the price that it currently is. But if you sign up after this weekend, then you're probably going to be signing up at a higher price. So if you have been thinking about joining, then definitely I would do it before this weekend, because the price is going to go up a little bit, because you are getting a lot for your money. And with the twice a week Zoom meetings, the morning forecast that I do, the private chats, and everything else, honestly, the $49 a month that the membership currently is an extreme bargain. So if anybody is interested, definitely check that out. The price will be going up probably after this weekend. So I hope everybody does enjoy the rest of the day, and as usual, happy trading and good luck. Yeah, definitely. Thanks a lot, Mark.